So the quirk marriage actually begins with Endeavor actually meeting Ree's parents, who actually are called the Himura family. So they actually are considered to be the family that actually has a long history with ice quirks. So we actually seen Ray is the one with the ice quirk as well. So she's now actually has taken the the privilege of actually being Endeavor's wife. But it actually wasn't a forced marriage. It's something that Endeavor actually wants to do to actually complete the marriage. However, we actually knew how she loves flowers, but that's actually in the past. So now we actually headed towards the present, where Ray actually talking to Endeavor, who's in the hospital bed all broken. But he's actually is shocked that his wife actually visiting him in his hospital bed. But we actually seen how she's here to talk about what's actually happened to Toya, who's is Dabi. But we seen him actually being healed from his burns. But we knew how he got those burns because we actually gonna see how we talking about Toya, in which he also talking about his family as well. Which the story actually begins with Toya actually talking to Endeavor about going another job because he actually broken his promise not to actually do another mission. But he actually said that he's inherited a more powerful form of the fire-based quirk, which that actually meant that he took after his mother's side. But Endeavor, knowing that he actually wants someone to actually have both fire and ice. Now, normally, this actually is a taboo in the quirk society. So, Endeavor, knowing that he will surpass All Might, however, we actually seen Toya talking with Fuyomi about how he'll will actually have gotten burned because of how he using his quirk. So naturally, he will continue to train more for his own purpose. So we actually knew how badly he gotten hurt, in which we actually seen how Endeavor trying to surpass All Might with his quirk, and with that we seen how Natsu was born, and it wasn't actually the right hybrid. And with that, we actually see Todoroki actually being born as well. So they now knew that Todoroki finally has both fire and ice quirks. So we actually knew how Toya was enraged with both hatred, and because of the hatred turns to jealousy and resentment. That actually meant he'll continue to train himself, but he suffered burns from his body. But now he was terrified by his family about what actually happened. But he actually didn't want to hear about Endeavor's advice. So he knew that he actually did this for his family, in which he actually took it upon himself to try to attack Todoroki. But we now see how that actually happens. But we actually heard from Ray that he's not the only one who really didn't see him, because she actually saying that she didn't actually see him as well. So the story of how Todoroki was born and how Toya was part of the family because of how Endeavor disbanded him, actually disowning him, because we now knew what actually happened to him because of the training that he actually did to try to acquire both fire and ice quirks. So now we knew that Todoroki finally was born with both quirk, which Endeavor is actually pleased. But the jealousy that Toya actually have turned to resentment and hate. So he actually say that he's got him as a father, but he won't allow that. So Toya actually resort to attacking Todoroki. So we actually knew what actually happens about that. So we're going to see what's going to happen on the next chapter next weekend. So anyway, like this video, subscribe for more, and comment what you think about the manga chapter. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and my Facebook page. Until then, this is Anime Guys right here saying signing out. Laters, and be safe.